Hello, Pisces Sun, Scorpio Rising. It is time for your year ahead reading. First, we're going to start off with a little bit of astrology. With a Scorpio Rising, Scorpio is a fixed water sign. There's a lot of depth to Scorpio. A little mysterious on the surface, a little inscrutable sometimes. People may find it hard to read you, but somebody who is very dedicated to those that they love, somebody who is, again, very deeply intuitive. It may even be something you don't realize about yourself, but other people may have mentioned it and said, well, I don't know how you knew that, but yeah, that's what's going on. Because you can really read the depths. You know when somebody isn't being truthful because you can sense it in a way. Now, with that Scorpio rising, that means your sun is most likely, not in every case, but most likely in the fifth house. Fifth house is the house of hobbies, of passion, things that you love to do to release energy or just get into a flow state. Now, with your Pisces sun there, these are things that could involve water in some way, from watercolor or just painting in general to water sports or like water polo for some reason comes to mind. Not sure why, but water skiing was also visualizing or going on in my head too. But it could be swimming. It could be deep daily ritual baths of some type too. You may be into things like energy healing, like Reiki or something like that. You may also be into things like tarot reading. Maybe you have your own set of or 20 or more decks that you work with on a personal basis, or maybe you're thinking about doing, or maybe you read for friends and family too. But getting into that more creative and for you possibly intuitive side is something you may really, really enjoy. All right, now let's see what your cards have to say. I'm going to be pulling 12 cards. I will label them just month 1 through 12. Month 1 for you is March of 2025. Month 12 will be February of 2026. So we have month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good, I have more room. Cards are bouncy today. Must be more humid out, right? Card 7, 8, 9, card 10, 11, and 12. And on the back of the deck, we have the star. So having the star on the back of the deck card is like a bonus reading or message or a theme for the year. I'm feeling more generally that this may be a theme for the year because it's a major arcana card. It can be this could reflect a change in how you in self-care for you from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and maybe the evolution of that throughout this year. The star cards is giving you permission to take a break, giving yourself permission for that self-care, doing something for yourself that doesn't have to make sense to anybody else but you, but it really helps you. It helps calm your body, your mind, your energy, gets you back to grounded and just to a standard state, I want to say. Gets you to a relaxed state to help you release tension and things like that. Making sure you're taking care of your body in addition to your spiritual body, your physical body in addition to your spiritual body. So we'll see if this pops up again as we're going through each month, but that's kind of the theme for you for this year, is what it feels like. All right, so starting off here in month 1, which again is March 2025 for you. The Two of Cups. Now the twos in general can indicate a decision point, two people having to make a choice. The Two of Cups in particular, this is a water element, so it has to do with emotions. So this is a connection with another person. It could be romantic, it could be friendship, it could be a coworker of some type that you just vibe really well with and you guys get along really well. It could be a potential business partner. Whatever it is for you, this is somebody that maybe you meet for the first time here in this month. And this is just a get to know you kind of phase. Don't write them off right away. Get to know them a little better. Ask questions. Listen to what that question, answer their questions to you honestly. If you're doing things they don't like and they tell you that, recognize that, okay, maybe I can modify things a little bit, but I don't like this about what you do. And they may be open to okay, so I could modify that, or maybe we can just accept and work with the fact that we each have these habits that the others don't like. This is a month of getting to know the other person on a deeper level, more of an emotional level, to see if you guys really vibe together or not. Is this something that is worth working with going forward, or is it something that maybe, no, this was fun for the short time, but it's not something I want long term? There's that choice in there. Is this it, or is it not? Get to know them first, have the conversations, reflect on it before you just say no up front, or before you leap in with everything right at the front, too. Take your time. And then we have the Emperor here in month 2. The Emperor is another major arcana card. It can represent Aries if you have some Aries energy around you. The Emperor is like the father of the tarot deck, the one in charge of everything, the one that protects everyone and makes sure things are running smoothly. As long as, if he puts a plan in motion or he gives a directive, he expects it to be obeyed and followed for the protection of you and those around you. So this, for you, is about setting boundaries, setting up rules of play, if you will. You need to set boundaries in some area of your life. I don't know if it's work or play. It could be play with your sun there in Pisces in the 5th house. But there need to be some parameters in place so that, one, you get enough sleep, essentially. So if this is a new game, if it's a PC gaming type of thing, you don't want to be doing a 24-hour session, or you need to be planning those things ahead of time and not just fall into that. Because if you do a 24-hour session on a Sunday night and you need to work right after that session on Monday, you're going to have problems at work. It's going to cause issues. So if there's something new to you that you want to get into and you want to dedicate a lot of time to, you need to be disciplined about it so that other areas of your life do not suffer or fall apart in response or aren't neglected in some way. This is a little bit of that Tempest energy too, which is another major arcana card. This is about you are the authority figure here. This is up to you to do. You control this. You have to be mindful of your own boundaries and your own parameters that you put around this for you on how long you can play. And if there's other people you're playing with or working with here, they need to be aware of these boundaries and that they need to be respected. So both sides have responsibility here once those rules are set in place. But you control what those rules are. That's up to you. And then in month 3 here, we have the 7 of Swords. Swords is an air element. This is going to be about communication, information, could be arguments. There's something going on here with this 7 of Swords where you're trying to determine if somebody's trying to pull one over on you or not. Are they trying to get away with something? Are they trying to claim ownership of a successful project that you managed? Are they trying to lay claim to some work that you've done? It's a little bit, I can't remember the word again, but they're out there. Information theft? Something like that. They're trying to steal your work or take credit for work you have done. There we go. They're trying to take credit for work you have done. So you need to make sure that your stamp is all over it so it cannot be, so that this won't be successful. Or you just need to be aware of it and be prepared to rebut that and say, no, that's not what, no. I'm the one who came up with the plan. I'm the one who set up the rules. Maybe that's what this is about. They're not liking the rules and the boundaries that you set, so they're trying to challenge that. But you put these in place, and if you followed your own rules on maintaining, monitoring work, checking things in and out, etc., for if this is like a project, for example, documenting diligently, then they don't have a leg to stand on because everything's there, everything's documented, everything's been clearly articulated and communicated, and everybody signed off. They can't fight that because that's obviously there. They may want to add on responsibilities, or they may want to have responsibilities. They may want to lighten their own load. So keep in mind that there could be some contention here having to do with communication, information in some way, where they're going to be verbally trying to, or maybe through emails or something like that, trying to interfere with your success because they think they should have more credit, or maybe they should have had a higher level position in for this particular thing. All right. And then in month 4, well, that's a way to follow it. They may succeed in a little bit. We have the blasted tower in month 4. The blasted tower is indicating a major shift or change in some area of your life where things just come tumbling down. It's a little bit unexpected. There's a sense that you could have an idea of what's coming. It's just that it hits much quicker and much harder than anticipated. Like maybe you thought it was just going to come, there was just going to be an issue with this one piece, and no, the whole thing comes tumbling down. The whole thing is destroyed. It's the universe removing this from your life because all it's doing is blocking you from success, from moving forward. So something gets removed, something gets taken out of the way. So in that moment, it's going to be shocking and it could be upsetting and you could be angry and frustrated about it. But at the same time, you kind of know that this was bound to happen eventually. And there is that recognition and acceptance that, okay, you know what? I don't know that I want to rebuild that. I don't know that I need that in my, I mean, it's gone, it's done. Why do I have to be responsible for it going forward? This wasn't meant for me, because it isn't. So you may choose to move forward without it altogether. You could try rebuilding it, but you have to do it from the, you have to build that solid foundation before you start just building up. Otherwise, it's just going to crumble right back down again. So be mindful, it's something, if you want to rebuild, that's going to require a lot of thought and effort and planning to make sure it's done right. A lot of discussion if this had to do with relationships and reconciliation. You have to reestablish that firm foundation, firm connection before you start building on top of it. But your other option here is to not rebuild it. I think a lot of you may choose not to. You're ready to walk away from that. It's almost, after the first initial shock wears off, it's almost a relief to have it gone. Because now you have a lot of energy left for other things that you really want to do. And you don't have to keep spending attention repairing this and patching holes and whatnot. It's like a fresh start in that area for you. And then in month 5, we have the Knight of Coins. So this could be somebody else in your life because court cards frequently indicate other people. And because this is coins, which is pentacles, which is earth, which is very solid foundational things about our lives. So where we live, how we pay for our bills, our career, our finances. The Knight of Coins, though, is the slowest moving knight in the deck. They are going to take their time. Knights in general are all about getting experience. They may have read the book, but they have no life experience actually applying that knowledge. They don't know about the nuances. They don't know about the hiccups yet that could come up as they're progressing, as they're trying things. So the Knight of Pentacles may require a lot of patience. Once they eventually figure it out, it's going to be a very solid thing that they come up with. It's going to be something that endures over time because they will have considered every possible bump or change or whatever. As they encounter those things, they're going to accommodate and adjust for those things. But they'll start from the top each time they encounter one of those things and take it one step at a time again to make sure everything stays in place. It's methodical. It's slow. There's a sense of stubborn energy in here too. So it could be a Taurus that you're working with. But that's the way they do things. That is how they need to figure things out. So one, there's a sense of having to accept that they're going to do this on their own time. And you can't rush them, or they're going to get frustrated and it's just going to slow them down more. So a need to step back a bit and just let them do their thing the way that they're doing it. If this is related to work in some way, you'll need to find Manage everything else around that if you can. If not, then you may have to have a discussion with them that there is a deadline. And just keep that in mind, but don't be too pushy with it. You may need to inform other people if you do get close to that deadline. But at the same time, this person will possibly have a reputation of solving these tough things in a way that is just foolproof. So it's maybe worth extending a deadline if needed. Okay. And then in month 6, we have this Fool card, the very first card in the major arcana, a leap of faith down a new path. And this might be what opens up for you after this blasted tower. Then we have a month or so to recover, and then we're leaping into something new. A new avenue opens up. Maybe you get a new opportunity on something. Maybe you decide you want to expand on your hobby or whatever it is you do that you're passionate about, and you want to leap into that more. And maybe make it a side gig or something like that, or just expand and grow more in that area. But there's a sense of anticipation and excitement. You don't know what's going to happen along this path, but you're going to go for it. You're like, let's just do it. Let's go. And off you go down the new path, down the new mystic road. All right, and then we get down here to month 7 with the King of Swords. So back into that swords energy. This time it's the King, another court card. So this is somebody who's definitely more of an authority figure, somebody with a very solid reputation in what they do. Definitely leadership. But this is somebody who doesn't make decisions based on emotion. They don't make decisions based on how they feel about the people involved, any of that. They just want the plan to be executed as stated, as communicated. So what's important to them is communication about delays, issues, anything that may come up. Modifications to a plan if they need to be made, or just having a plan and coming up with a plan. The logic, the facts, the finances. How are things going? How are things progressing from those perspectives? If there are some emotional issues, if there are interpersonal issues among the team, this person is not going to be necessarily very good at handling those. They're just going to give you a directive on what to do. So this may be somebody that you kind of butt heads with a little bit because you have all that water in your chart. Your base is about the emotional connections with people, and this person seems like a wall. But what they will appreciate is a job well done. And they do appreciate questions that can help make sure things are done as expected, or that helps them adjust or mediate things before they get out of control. So this could be somebody you're informing, okay, things are progressing, but it's taking time for this piece to get done. I know when it's done, it's going to be very good, but we need additional time and extension on the project maybe. And just give them the facts. They're not going to know, well, I feel like they're going to be fine. And they're going to ask, well, what's the timeline? What's this? What's that? They're very facts and figures. You may have to bring all 3 of them into a room together, but this person may get a little bit intimidated and frustrated and feel like they're being rushed. And then they will make mistakes. So you may be the one that's balancing between these two, keeping things on an even keel, keeping this person informed, and letting them know when and if things need to change, what the risk levels are, etc., so that they can manage that. And then we have the 5 of Cups. Now, 5s can be a challenge, something put in the way to test you, to see if you're really ready to move forward on a particular topic. For 5 of Cups, this is a deeply emotional conflict or something that has been a challenge for you. In particular, the 5 of Cups is all about reflecting on the past, something that happened in the past, something that can't be undone, no matter how much you go back and think, well, maybe if I had done this, maybe if I had done that, I shouldn't have said this, I shouldn't have said that, I was very angry, I was very upset, the sense of guilt, a highly emotional event in the past that you keep bringing back to the present with you, which just is distracting. It causes you to lose focus on what you're doing. It's not something you can change. No matter how many ways you can think of things, it's done. It's over. You cannot change it. You need to accept that. You need to let that go. It is okay to release that. You do not have to keep carrying that burden. You're a different person now. You have grown and you have learned from it. Recognize that, acknowledge that, give it a respectful thank you, and say, I'm now moving forward. And do it both, just not just with words, but feel that. Feel that shift into the present moment so that you can focus on what is working. In this case, they have these spilled cups here, and they have two full, perfectly fine cups right next to them. So focus on the now and stop harping on the past. And then here in month 9, we have the 9 of Swords. Nines in general can indicate you're at the precipice of the conclusion. Things are almost through, almost done. But in this card, what's represented is anxiety, nightmares, insomnia, unable to sleep because you're in your head going round and round and round and round, and unable to disconnect from whatever it is that has you going in circles here and overthinking things. Just be aware that this may happen, that it is okay, and maybe do something physical. Go for a run, punch your mattress, do something to release that tension and anxiety so you don't continue to hold it in your body, so it's not disrupting your physical energy in addition to your emotional and soul energy. If you can plan for this and be prepared to deal with it when it happens, that will help. And if you can come to some awareness when you're in the midst of it, just pause, take a deep breath. What's one of the tricks? Identify certain objects in the room around you in the present moment to bring you back to the present, so you're not worrying about what might happen and you're focused on where you are now and what's going on now, to bring you back down, and then go for that run or do something to release that stuff so that you can get some good sleep, so that you're prepared to handle things as they come up instead of anticipating things that may not even happen. Give yourself some grace this month. Recognize there may be some extra stress there and try to plan ahead for it. And then in month 10, we have the Hierophant, another major arcana card. The Hierophant is like the teacher, the professor, somebody who has something to teach you or show you. Usually it's all about the basics. They know the rules, they know the laws, they know the regulations. They're at that level, and they have a lot of wisdom when it comes to that and their experience in dealing with those things that they can share with you. Try not to be too distracted while they are teaching you, while they are sharing this information. It can be a bit dry, but it's very important for something that you want to do. It's really important that you pay attention to the details here. Take a lot of notes. Stop to ask questions. Stop to say, just give me a moment, I need to finish writing this down. Maybe they'll offer to if you ask, maybe they'll let you record the session. So I know in my 9 to 5 job, we can record things on Teams. We can record a meeting and then go back to it and re-review and review and review until everybody understands. Especially if we're doing things like transferring duties from one area to another or tasks. So pay attention or find a way to get that recorded so that you can refer to it multiple times. Maybe they have a manual or a base to work from, and then you can make key points or notes as you're learning and going through them that will help you remember anecdotes and other things that they may be sharing based on their experience with working with these things. There's some extra nuances or something here that it's very important that you recognize or learn about, so that when you're faced with those, you understand what's truly going on or what else may be impacting that. That's the information they have for you. So pay attention. And then in month 11, we have the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups can be spoiled for choice, being unable to decide between so many different options before you, or having so many different available options that you're overwhelmed and unable to decide which one to pick, which is the right one, what's the right order to put these in if that's what you need to do. Try not to overthink it here. This decision here, this choice, the way that you put things, this is all about how you feel about these things. It doesn't have to make any logical sense. It doesn't have to be what's correct per society. It just needs to be how you feel about these things, what your intuition is telling you. Trust yourself in that way. Take a deep breath, do something else while you're numbering them, maybe. I don't know if you're able to do that, but you could be watching something on TV so your mind is kind of engaged with that so that you can focus on, oh, no, I like this one, this one, this one, that one. So you can focus emotionally on the options in front of you. And then you'll know what to do and what to choose. And then in month 12, we have the Three of Coins. This is a good way to end the year. This is a team of people working together to create something that benefits many. So this could be a project at work. This could be a community thing. This could be working on the house with friends, family, whoever it is, to paint all the rooms and brighten things up and just make the home feel more welcoming. And maybe you're painting some bedrooms in anticipation of people coming to visit or adding more people to the family. If this is work, this could be a new special niche project that the three of you are uniquely skilled for and complementary skills that you can work together to make this happen quickly, and it benefits your whole team in some way. I don't know if there's special recognition, or maybe you're just working on changing up the snacks in the snack room, but whatever it is, everybody's happy about it in the end. And that's a good way to end the year. And remember, through all of this, to make sure you are tending to your mind, body, and soul. That will especially help here in month 9. All right, that is what I have for you, Pisces Sun, Scorpio Rising. Please hit that like button. Please share this with others. Please comment below to let me know if this resonated with you or not. And please subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.